In today's tutorial, you'll learn how to crochet this beautiful baby's pants. I'll be taking you step by step for absolute beginners. Well, we are continuing with a set that one of my subscribers requested. Now, this pant will fit a baby for 0 to 3 months, but in the course of the tutorial, I'll be guiding you how to make this bigger, alright? So without no further ado, get set all your materials and let's get started. And I want to say a big thank you to all of my subscribers and all my returning viewers. Thank you so very much for liking and sharing my tutorials. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Zoe CrochetR too. Now, without no further ado, get set your material and let's get started. Now, you want to work with me to the end. At the end of this tutorial, I'll be presenting you how far we are with our baby set. Alright. Now, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16 verse 3. Now, these are the materials we're going to need. We're going to need our scissors, a stitch markers, a needle, a yarn needle, a measuring tool, take a measurement. I'm working with 2 crochet hook, the 3mm size hook, and the 2.5. Yeah. Now we're going to start by creating a slip knot, and we're going to start with a long chain, and this chain is the length of our waist circumference. Alright, so just going to respect your measurement and going to do a long chain that measures that. Now to make a chain, you're going to yarn over and pull through. That's 1 and 2 and 3, and you're going to keep going until you have your total number of chains. Alright, so keep on working. And here we go, our chain measures exactly 44 centimeters, and yep, now we're going to start working. I'll advise you to have an even number. Okay, have an even number, and each time we have our total number of chains, we're going to go ahead and add 1 chain. That's a turning chain. So yeah, we have a 1. Now you're going to come into the next stitch, or you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in that second chain, insert your hook there. Good. Yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull up 3 loops. That is a half double crochet, yarn over into the next chain, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull up 3 loops. And before continuing, we're going to insert a stitch marker and mark that first stitch. Yarn over into the next chain, you make a half double crochet, and this is everything we're going to make in this first row. We're going to make a half double crochet in each chain all across, right? So you're just going to repeat this sequence, and I'll meet you at the end of this first row. So keep on working. And here we have, I've completed our first row. It's always good to check your measurement. I have something above it, 46. It's still good. It's always better to be above and have less stitches. Now we're going to join both ends. So you're just going to hold your work like this, and that stitch marker, take that stitch marker out, and you're going to insert your hook in that stitch. And you're going to make a slip stitch. Alright, you're going to yarn over, pull through, and now we have a round. And now we're going to start working. We're going to chain 1, and the pattern is going to be worked in the back loop half double crochet, so we can see this loop. We're going to come in this back loop, alright, and that's where we're going to work in. So you're going to yarn over. Now the first loop will be worked in both loops. We're going to start working. Okay, we're always going to start working in both loops. So grab both loops for the first and make a half double crochet. And now from the second, we're going to work just in the back loop. Alright, from the second around, come just in the back loop and make a half double crochet. Yarn over, come in the back loop, make a half double crochet, yarn over, come in the back loop and make a half double crochet. Yarn over, you see, here we have it. Yep, and we're going to repeat this all around, and I'll meet you in this last stitch. Okay, so go ahead and repeat this. And now when we get here, we're going to work in this last stitch. We're going to work in both loops. All right, work in both loops. It helps our edges to be straight. And then now come here, take off the stitch marker and slip stitch both loops. Good. And here we go. We've completed our first row, our first round. You're going to chain one and turn your work. Yarn over. In that first, always start working both loops. Okay, both loops. And now from the second, now we're going to work in just in the back loops. Okay, so come in that second and back loop. And if we go further, mark that first stitch. You see, it's important to mark this first stitch because you kind of want to camouflage with this chain one. Just mark it there. Yarn over, and so we're going to work in just here. So you're going to repeat this round, and I'll meet you at the end. Right, so keep on working. And yep, in the last stitch, we're always going to work in both loops. And take off your stitch marker. Both loops, set a hook and make a slip stitch. You're going to chain one and turn your work, and this is our repeat. So you always start by working both loops, and now from the second you work just in the back loop. And yep, this is just going to be a repeat. We're going to keep on working until from the waist until this measures 16 centimeters. All right, so go ahead and keep on working. And here we go, we have our 16 centimeters now, and in here we have a total of 22 stitches. Now you see that I went here to insert my stitch marker, right? I have two stitch markers here. I have this and this. These are my stitch markers. Okay, now remember in the beginning I told you that this your starting number, your stitches here should be even numbers, right? Even numbers. So here you're going to divide these numbers in two. 1, 2. That's because I've counted my stitches and I've divided by 2. All right, so this is what it kind of looks like. I've counted from here to here, from here to here. Okay, so I have a total of 51 stitches here and 51 stitches this way. Yeah, right now we're going to start working on the leg. You're going to come here. You see where we have this red, this white. Just take out the stitch marker. And I'm just going to come here. See here, just bring in that loop inside your work, slip stitch it like this. You're going to chain 1, okay, and you're going to turn your work. So you're going to turn, okay, and you're going to yarn over, and you're going to start working this way. Go ahead and make a half double crochet in that first stitch, you see there, and now you're going to work in a back loop, only work in a back loop. You're going to repeat your pattern, working just in the back loop. So you're going to repeat this and I'll meet you here. Okay, so keep on working. And when work will come here, you must remember to work in that last stitch. And the last stitch always work in both loops. And come in that first stitch and make your slip stitch. Always, and okay. And before making your slip stitch, make sure you have counted your stitches. So make sure that you have the same number of stitches as on the other leg. Very important, okay? We're going to start the next row, the next round, chain 1 and turn. And we're just going to repeat that pattern. We'll always start working in both loops. And now from the next loop, now work in the next stitch, work just in the back loop. So you're going to repeat this and I'll meet you here. You must always remember to work in that last stitch. The other side double crochet. Slip stitch. Chain 1, turn. And I'm just going to repeat the same sequence. And this is just going to be a repeat. We're going to repeat this round until our length, until we have the length for our baby's pant. And I'm going to make sure we're going to work on the curves. We're going to work on the ribbon. And now let me teach you how you're going to start the second leg. Now to start the second leg, you're just going to, you see, you come to the next stitch that is unworked, right? This stitch is free. Come there, insert your hook, and where you had your stitch marker, take it out, and in there you're going to insert your hook there, and you're going to slip stitch it like that. Let me teach you how you're going to do that. So here you have your yarn. Just bring your yarn like this behind and yarn over and bring that in. And bring that to the front. And you're going to chain 1. And you're going to start the same, exactly as you started this other row. So you're going to yarn over and make your first half double crochet. Yarn over and working just in the back loop. And right now this is what our kind of looks like. So starting from here where I started my first row, I obtained my 15 centimeters, and in here I did a total of 21 rows. I have 21 rows here. Now I'm going to start the ribbon just as you see here. I'll switch my hook to the 2.5. This is the hook I was working with. So I'm going to go ahead and make a long chain, and the length of this is really very optional, okay? But you want to make something that you can bend like this, you can fold. I'm going to go ahead and chain 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I have my 22 chains. I want something closely to what I did on the slips here, okay? So here I did 20 chains, and here I'm doing 22 chains. And my chain measures My chain measures 9 centimeters. Good. We're going to start working on ribbon. And this is a slip stitch ribbon. So what you want to do is, see, we have our chain. You're going to come in that second chain, insert your hook in that second chain, and we're going to make a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through and slip stitch into the next chain. We're going to slip stitch into the next chain. We're going to slip stitch into the next chain. We're going to slip stitch into the next chain. We're going to slip stitch I'm going to have something like this, and you're going to repeat this and I'll measure the inner part chain here. Okay, so keep on working. And now you want to make sure you slip stitch to the last chain. I'm going to come below here. I'm going to work in these little stitches here, and these 2 stitches we're going to make a slip stitch in each of them. So come in the first one, that here we have the first slip stitch, and into the second we make the second slip stitch. That's how we connect our work. Down here you're going to turn your work. I'm going to work in just in the back loop. So here we have the back loop of our chains of our stitch. So we remember we just did 2 slip stitches here, 1, 2. You're not working those slip stitches, you're working with your chain here. So I did 20 chains, so I did 22 chains, so now I have 21. You always have to make sure you must have the same number of stitches. So go there in that back loop and slip stitch, go in that back loop and slip stitch, so that's where we're working. And you're going to slip stitch like this until you get to the top here. Okay, so go ahead and keep on slip stitching. Alright, as you're working, you're counting your stitches. And now only for this last stitch, when you get to the last stitch here, you're going to work in both loops. So try to find both loops. Don't worry, it's just this first one that is the second. Alright, work in both loops. Make a slip stitch, chain 1 and chain. And each time you're starting your work, you always work in both loops. You come in that first stitch, you work in both loops like this. Alright, so go ahead and slip stitch. And now from the second, now you're going to work in just in the back loop. Back loop. Back loop. Back loop. Back loop. The stitches are really very visible if you check them out. You're going to repeat this, and I'm going to down here. So keep on working. And make sure you always work in those last stitches. Don't skip. See, now this is our last stitch here. And as you're working, try not to make your work too tight. And we're going to come below here in those 2 stitches, 1 and 2. And each of those stitches, you're going to make a slip stitch. Slip stitch 1 and slip stitch 2. You're going to turn your work, and we're going to repeat the same sequence. Come in that first stitch, working just in the back loop, make a slip stitch, and make a slip stitch, and make a slip stitch, working just in the back loop. And this last stitch, we're working both loops. Always remember to work both loops. You're going to chain one, turn your work, and I'm just going to start working both loops. From the circle now, you work just, and from the circle you work just in the back loop. And slip stitch, and that's what it gives us. Very beautiful, right? And this is just going to be our repeat. And this is the only thing we're going to repeat of your hair. Right, we're going to work and get here. I'll meet you here. We're going to have an opening, we're going to close that, and we're going to do the same thing also here on the waistline, on the waistband. So we still have this, just going to bring it in here. Just come down here, set my hook there. And the chain here also is optional, so chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the chain measures 4 centimeters. And here we're just going to repeat what we did on our leg. So in each of those stitches, you're going to make a slip stitch. I have a total of 12 chains here, 12 chains. So I'm going to end up with 11 slip stitches. So go ahead. And you can either choose to work up here or in between the stitches. Okay, I work in between the stitches. So I'm just gonna make my 2 slip stitches. That's my one. And let me show you what I'm doing. I'm working in here. Right. So I've done number 1 and I'll come and do number 2. And I'll turn my work. And we're just going to repeat this sequence. And yes, it's just the same procedure. You're going to work this all around the waist, so you can choose to slip stitch up here, or you can also choose to slip stitch in between the stitches. Alright, either way will go. So repeat this and I'll meet you at the end. So keep on working. Now by the time you're done with this, just you can either choose to sew it in, but just turn it inside this like this, and we're going to slip stitch. So insert your hook this way on this other side and bring that working in. I'm going to be slip stitching, okay? Stitch into stitch. And come on this side. So you come on this side and this other side. And slip stitch. And yeah, you want to make sure that you're working stitch into stitch. Okay. Chain one. I'm going to weave in those tails. And very beautiful. Here we go. And the next thing you want to do, you want to go ahead and make a very long chain. Now my chain measures 113 centimeters, and I chained a total of 220 here. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and just put that in a dress. And of course I did mine also. Yeah. So let's put some right here. I doubled my yarn for it to be a little bit thick. I'll just go around a bit. I'm trying my best to make it look. Once you're done, I'm just going to go ahead and tie a beautiful knot here. Thank you very much for working with me. Now we need this. In the next tutorial, I'll teach you how to crochet the beautiful baby's booties with a bear. Yep. Next tutorial, I will teach you again how to have a complete set, and I'm going to teach you how to make the bear also. Now, all of the links to this tutorial are in the description box below. So thank you so much for working with me, and if you're still at home mom like me, I encourage you to work from home, and I pray God bless you, the work of your hands. I'm meeting you in the next tutorial. Today, God bless us and keep us and prosper the work of our hands. Shalom.